What do you do when the spotlight that once made you shine becomes the very thing that burns you? When millions of eyes watching your every move becomes a weight too heavy to bear? And when your own mind becomes both your greatest enemy and your most important teacher? Welcome back to Light After Dark, the series where we explore the hidden struggles of those who seem to have it all and discover how they found their way back to the light. And today we're talking about Selena Gomez, a woman who transformed her darkest moments into a beacon of hope for millions around the world. Selena Marie Gomez was born on the 22nd of July, 1992, in Grand Prairie, Texas. Named after the beloved Tejano singer Selena Quintanilla, she seemed destined for stardom from the very beginning. But like many child stars, the path to fame would come with a price that no one could have predicted. By age 15, Selena was already a household name, starring in Disney Channel's Wizards of Waverly Place. She was America's sweetheart, talented, beautiful, and seemingly living the dream that millions of young people could only imagine. But behind the cameras, behind the red carpet smiles, something else was brewing. The entertainment industry is notoriously demanding, especially for young women. The pressure to be perfect, to always be on, to maintain an image that pleases everyone. It's a recipe for mental health struggles that many don't see coming until it's too late. For Selena, the first signs of struggle weren't immediately recognized as mental health issues. Like many young people experiencing the onset of bipolar disorder, the symptoms were often misunderstood or attributed to other factors: stress, relationship drama, or simply the pressures of growing up in the public eye. Bipolar disorder typically emerges in late adolescence or early adulthood, affecting approximately 2.8% of adults in the United States each year. It's characterized by episodes of mania or hypomania alternating with periods of depression. But here's what many people don't understand. It's not just about mood swings. It's a complex neurological condition that affects every aspect of a person's life. By 2013, cracks in Selena's seemingly perfect facade began to show. She was juggling a music career, acting projects, endorsement deals, and intense media scrutiny about her personal relationships. But what the public saw as typical celebrity drama was actually something much more serious. In 2013, Selena abruptly canceled the Australian leg of her Stars Dance tour, citing personal reasons. The media speculated wildly. Was it exhaustion, relationship problems, substance abuse? The truth was far more complex and serious than anyone realized at the time. Selena later revealed that she had spent time in a treatment facility in Arizona, not for substance abuse as many speculated, but for mental health treatment. She was beginning to confront something that would change her life forever, but at the time, she didn't even have a name for what she was experiencing. This is where Selena's story becomes so important for millions of people struggling with similar issues. Mental health problems don't discriminate based on fame, fortune, or success. They can affect anyone, at any time, regardless of how perfect their life might appear from the outside. The years that followed were a roller coaster of highs and lows. Selena would have periods where she seemed to be thriving, releasing successful albums, starring in movies, building her business empire. But then, there would be periods of withdrawal, canceled tours, and hospitalizations that left fans and media confused and concerned. In 2015, Selena revealed another piece of her health puzzle. She had been diagnosed with lupus, an autoimmune disease that can affect multiple organ systems. This revelation helped explain some of her previous health scares and absences from the public eye. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease where the body's immune system attacks its own tissues and organs. It can cause fatigue, joint pain, skin rashes, and in severe cases, can affect the kidneys, heart, and brain. For Selena, this diagnosis was both a relief. I am finally having an explanation for some of her symptoms, and a new challenge to navigate. But what many people didn't realize at the time was that autoimmune diseases like lupus can also significantly impact mental health. The inflammation associated with lupus can affect brain function, and the chronic nature of the disease can contribute to depression and anxiety. For someone already struggling with undiagnosed bipolar disorder, this created a perfect storm. In 2017, Selena faced a life-threatening complication from her lupus: kidney failure. She underwent a kidney transplant, with her best friend Francia Risa serving as the donor. This experience brought Selena face-to-face with her own mortality and marked a turning point in how she approached her health, both physical and mental. The period following Selena's kidney transplant was supposed to be a time of recovery and gratitude, but for Selena, it became one of the darkest periods of her life. The combination of post-surgical recovery, immunosuppressive medications, and untreated mental health issues created a crisis that nearly cost her everything. In 2018, Selena was hospitalized twice for mental health crises. Reports suggested she had experienced what medical professionals call a psychotic break, a complete disconnect from reality that can occur during severe bipolar episodes. This wasn't just a difficult period or a rough patch. This was a life-threatening mental health emergency. Imagine being Selena in that moment. You're 26 years old, you've just survived a major medical procedure, you're dealing with the side effects of powerful medications, and your mind, the very thing you rely on to create, to connect with others, to simply exist, feels like it's completely betraying you. It was during this hospitalization that Selena finally received the diagnosis that would change everything: bipolar disorder. After years of struggling with unexplained mood episodes, finally having a name for what she was experiencing was both terrifying and liberating. Bipolar disorder affects approximately 45 million people worldwide. It's characterized by episodes of mania or hypomania, periods of elevated mood, increased energy, and sometimes reckless behavior, alternating with episodes of depression. Between episodes, many people with bipolar disorder function normally, which is why it can be so difficult to diagnose and understand. After receiving her bipolar diagnosis, Selena faced a choice that many public figures struggle with: stay silent and try to manage privately, or speak openly about her mental health journey. Given the stigma surrounding mental illness, especially in the entertainment industry, staying quiet would have been the easier path. But Selena chose courage over comfort. In April 2020, during a conversation with Miley Cyrus on Instagram Live, Selena publicly revealed her bipolar diagnosis for the first time. It was a moment that changed not just her own relationship with her mental health, but potentially the lives of millions of people watching. When Selena said those words, "I'm bipolar, and I'm not ashamed," she wasn't just sharing personal information. She was breaking down walls, challenging stigma, and giving permission to countless others to seek help without shame. The response was overwhelming. Mental health organizations praised her courage. Fans shared their own stories of struggle and recovery. Medical professionals noted a significant increase in people seeking bipolar disorder information and treatment. Selena had turned her most vulnerable moment into a source of strength for others. But Selena didn't stop at just sharing her story. She decided to build something that could create lasting change. In 2020, she launched Rare Beauty, a cosmetics company with a mission that goes far beyond makeup. From the beginning, Rare Beauty was designed to challenge conventional beauty standards and promote mental health awareness. The brand's messaging focuses on self-acceptance, authenticity, and the idea that everyone is rare in their own way. But the most impactful aspect of Rare Beauty isn't the products themselves, it's the Rare Impact Fund. Selena committed to raising $100 million over 10 years to expand mental health services in educational settings. This isn't just charity, it's systematic change aimed at reaching young people before they reach crisis points. The timing couldn't be more crucial. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, nearly 32% of adolescents experience anxiety disorders, and about 13% experience major depressive episodes. By focusing on schools and educational settings, Selena is targeting the places where young people spend most of their time and where intervention can be most effective. One of the most powerful aspects of Selena's mental health advocacy is her honesty about the ongoing nature of managing bipolar disorder. She doesn't present recovery as a destination you arrive at, but as a daily practice of self-care, medication management, therapy, and community support. Selena has been open about taking medication for her bipolar disorder, which is crucial messaging in a culture that often stigmatizes psychiatric medication. She's talked about the importance of therapy, of setting boundaries, and of surrounding herself with people who understand and support her mental health needs. She's also been honest about the fact that managing bipolar disorder isn't always pretty or inspirational. There are still difficult days, medication adjustments, and moments of struggle. But by sharing these realities, she's helping to normalize the actual experience of living with mental illness. In recent interviews, Selena has talked about learning to recognize her triggers, understanding her medication, and building a support system that prioritizes her well-being over her productivity. These aren't glamorous solutions, but they're real ones. The impact of Selena's openness about her mental health extends far beyond her own healing. Mental health professionals have noted what they call the Selena effect, a significant increase in young people, particularly young women and people of color, seeking mental health treatment and bipolar disorder information. When someone with Selena's platform speaks openly about mental health, it doesn't just reduce stigma, it literally saves lives. Studies show that celebrity disclosure of mental health struggles can increase help-seeking behavior by up to 25% in the months following the disclosure. But perhaps most importantly, Selena has helped change the conversation around mental health, from one of shame and secrecy to one of courage and community. She's shown that seeking help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. So what can we learn from Selena's journey from darkness to dawn? Her story offers several crucial insights for anyone struggling with mental health challenges. First, mental health struggles can affect anyone, regardless of their external circumstances. Success, fame, and fortune don't protect you from bipolar disorder, depression, or anxiety. This isn't about personal failure or lack of gratitude, it's about brain chemistry and genetics. Second, getting proper diagnosis and treatment can be a long process, especially for complex conditions like bipolar disorder. Selena's journey to diagnosis took years and multiple hospitalizations. This is unfortunately common, particularly for women and people of color who are often underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed when it comes to mental health conditions. Third, recovery isn't linear. Selena has been open about the fact that managing bipolar disorder is an ongoing process with ups and downs. There's no cure when it comes to mental health. There's managed, there's thriving, there's learning to live well with your condition. Fourth, medication can be life-saving. Selena has been a powerful advocate for psychiatric medication, helping to combat the stigma that often prevents people from getting the medical treatment they need for their mental health conditions. And finally, using your struggle to help others can be profoundly healing. Selena has transformed her most difficult experiences into a source of strength and support for millions of others. This doesn't mean everyone needs to go public with their struggles, but finding ways to connect with others who understand can be incredibly powerful. Today, Selena Gomez stands as one of the most influential mental health advocates of her generation. She's built a successful business that prioritizes mental well-being. She's raised millions of dollars for mental health services, and she's helped countless people feel less alone in their struggles. But perhaps most importantly, she's living proof that mental illness doesn't have to define the limits of your life. You can have bipolar disorder and still create beautiful art, build successful businesses, maintain meaningful relationships, and make a positive impact on the world. Selena's story reminds us that sometimes our deepest wounds become our greatest sources of wisdom and compassion. The very experiences that nearly destroyed her have become the foundation for her most meaningful work. She's shown us that seeking help isn't giving up, it's fighting back. That taking medication isn't a weakness, it's taking control. That talking about mental health isn't oversharing. It's breaking down the walls that keep people suffering in silence. Selena Gomez's journey from darkness to dawn isn't just a celebrity success story. It's a roadmap for anyone struggling with mental health challenges. It shows us that with proper treatment, strong support systems, and the courage to keep fighting, it's possible to not just survive mental illness, but to thrive in spite of it. Her story reminds us that our struggles don't disqualify us from success, happiness, or making a difference in the world. Sometimes, they're exactly what qualify us to help others find their way through similar darkness. If you're struggling with mental health challenges, please know that you're not alone. Help is available, recovery is possible, and your story isn't over. Like Selena, you have the power to transform your darkest moments into sources of light for yourself and others. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health issues, please reach out for help. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is available 24/7 at 988. The crisis text line is available by texting HOME to 741-741. And remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Light After Dark. If Selena's story inspired you, please like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe for more stories of courage, resilience, and hope. Remember, no matter how dark things might seem right now, there is always light waiting on the other side. Keep fighting, keep hoping, and keep believing in the possibility of dawn.